In today's video, we will be going over splits and what's the best split to get aesthetic. There's a lot of splits out there and a lot of them, well, just won't make you aesthetic, right? So in today's video, I will be covering what split you should choose to get the most aesthetic, because the split you choose will ultimately determine where your strong points are in your physique and where your weak points are in your physique. So without further ado, let's get into it, okay? Alright guys, so when we're choosing a split to get the best possible aesthetic physique, we want to be hitting the aesthetic muscles, or the muscles that will make us aesthetic, the hardest and the freshest. We want our sets to be freshest on those muscles that will make us aesthetic, meaning our back, or more specifically our lats, and of course our shoulders, and more specifically our side delts, right? Those are the muscles that are really going to give you that aesthetic look, that V-taper, you know, that X-frame. So when we're picking a split, we want those muscles to be first, right? So example, push-pull legs, instead of starting with chest, you could start with shoulders. That way those get the best amount of work, the highest quality work in the workout, which ultimately will make them the strong point in your physique, because those are the freshest. You're giving those the most attention. They're getting smashed the hardest because they're first in the workout, so you got more mental energy, you got more physical energy, so they just get more quality out of the sets you do, right? And then for pull, you would start with back, right? You wouldn't start with biceps, you would start with back, and probably a lat focused movement at that. Maybe cable rows, or maybe you start with pullovers, or maybe you just really start honing in your technique on your lat pull downs and say your pull-ups, right? To really just feel those lats working and give those the most highest amount of quality possible. And if I didn't say this already, when you're starting with shoulders, you start with side delts, right? You start with lateral raises of some sort, either cable or dumbbell or anything in between. And say you're training Arnold split, right? Then you would start with back, right? You wouldn't start with chest first, you would start with back first. And again, you'd start with the lat focused movement, right? Like close grip cable rows, like lat pull downs, you know, pull-ups. You know, you'd start with something that is going to give you that nice V-taper, and ultimately you want to be giving those everything you got, right? You got to be focusing on having good form and you're actually present in the gym, because later throughout your workout you have tendencies to like get a little sloppy, a little foggy, you know, it isn't the same as like when you first got there, right? So you want those first sets to be on the muscles that you really want to prioritize. And when we're prioritizing aesthetics, slim waist, broad shoulders, wide back, you know, that's when we really want to focus on the lats earlier in the workout, because everybody gets fatigued throughout their workout. Like nobody doesn't get fatigued. Like you can, like no matter if you're on roids, if you're natty, you will get fatigued, right? You just will. Like it is human nature to get fatigued when you exert yourself physically like that, and you'll get drained mentally too, because you'll be pushing yourself. So with that being said, hope I gave you a little bit of a reasoning behind why we put them earlier in the program. Now for the next split, I actually don't even think I have to continue explaining this to you guys. Okay, I think you get the picture by now that whatever split you're doing, okay, whatever it is, just push pull legs. If it's Arnold split, if it's upper lower, if it's, you know, bro split, whatever it is, you really want to make sure that earlier in the program, or the first thing you do when you step into the gym, is working that muscle that's really going to give you that aesthetic physique. If that's either shoulders or back, specifically side delts or lats, right? You want those to be the first thing you do when you step into the gym, because that's when you're going to be the freshest, and those are going to be the best sets you do that workout. So no matter what you do, start with them, and the other muscles or muscle parts or other parts of that muscle group, they can come later, but after you've done that, right? Because that's ultimately going to give you that nice aesthetic look. Splits isn't all that important. It isn't all that, you know, critical to what you look like, but what is critical to what you look like is what you train first, right? Because you can have an aesthetic on paper, you know, program like Arnold split, that's an aesthetic program, right? But if you smash chest, like you do fucking 15 sets of chest, and then you're completely like, okay, time for back, you know, you're back, it's not gonna get the best quality work, right? So your chest will ultimately be stronger than your back. Same goes for shoulders, right? If I'm training Arnold split again for an example, and I'm smashing arms, I'm doing total, I'm doing like 15 sets of arms, right? And then after that, I'm like, okay, time for shoulders. No, it's not time for shoulders, it's time for rest, right? Like the quality won't be good, right? It just won't. So it's important to pick that or choose that muscle group earlier in the workout, so you ultimately can give it the best amount of quality that it needs, right? So with that being said, guys, I hope you learned something valuable in today's video. It was a little short, and yeah, don't overcomplicate it. You know, splits isn't that important, it's just semi-important, and what's more important is how you approach that split. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.